For this video, I'm going to do a deeper analysis rather than just tell you what happened. North America clear rates for Fru and Chaotic suck. Chaotic has only an 8% clear rate in North America, whereas Japan has a staggering almost 27%. 8% versus 27% is a massive leap. Note that I'm talking clear rate here. This is not even discounting the one-hit wonders or PayPal legends, which honestly, if that was the title, I would totally be using. I'm exceptionally well seasoned on this topic. I have been around the block in Party Finder, and I just got my 5th Fru re-clear the other night, and then farmed Chaotic for the Shroud. No, I didn't get lucky with RNG. RNG absolutely fucking hates me. I had to farm out every single damn demi materia. Ouch. Timestamps when I talk about the Japanese approach more, which I really always make a really concerted effort to put timestamps. I really hope they help you guys. But for now, I want to really address the elephant in the room, which is Fru versus Chaotic on North American Party Finder, and this is something I've experienced myself, and it is a night and day difference between them on the same data center. Chaotic has been the worst experience I've had in this game. First off, we have 3 different strategies flying around. The 2 most popular are Codcar and Aurelia. We really don't have a single strategy that's consistent to learn here. Second is join a Chaotic Party Finder, wipe once, immediately one person is going to leave, and then the rest of the group leaves after just waiting 20 minutes to fill, and then now you need to wait another 20 minutes to fill the next group. Third is people queuing into the content with zero idea how to handle towers, frankly prog point lying, but really, no cap. Ayo bruv, the South Tower is bussin', no cap. Alright, no more complaining about Chaotic. But the point is, North America is so brutally disrespectful of everyone else's time in this content. Now when it comes to Fru, remember that your mileage may vary, but on this same NA data center we have the very consistent strategies in PF. Lesbian because Ryan and Gaia are lesbians, and we use the mitigation sheet Fru Mit but good FMBG. I can say Fru PF has been easily one of the most consistent, enjoyable experiences I've had in the entire game. People show up prepared, knowing their shit, using consistent strategies. Obviously sometimes people just don't use their MIT as DPS, but if I'm frank, considering it's PF, that's actually been very rare that they miss it. Like, people have been on point, like really on point. I'm thoroughly impressed with it. Yes, prog point liars do appear during my prog, absolutely they did, but the trick is that someone who is prog point lying, literally from just their movements, you can tell who is actually lost. And there's a big difference between lost and a brain fart. Like, if you have like a brain fart on APOC or Diamond Dust, it will look totally different than someone who's just totally lost. So my own experience has been that these 2 content streams on the same NA data center indicates that when NA gets down to it, we absolutely have very talented players, more than capable of consistent gameplay. But, and it's a massive Cardi B shaking it, but many North American players have traits that we're about to talk about and really go and deep dive into this Reddit, and that is why Chaotic and Below really does suffer so much. From Princess Peachy on Reddit, NA also tends to be more salty because LOL my static didn't clear this way is everywhere, and a refusal to conform to singular PF strat leads to misunderstandings and friction when the solution is quite easy. North American players also tend to be more hot-headed than JP, understatement, and a lot more my way or the highway stubbornness when JP will align with whatever party macro says and just try to clear that way. Again, this is not something I personally experienced in Fru, but in this current Savage tier when I PF'd it, it absolutely was something I felt. It was something that I saw way too often, honestly. And there are some players who are definitely stubborn to the end and frankly made us miserable for it. Actually, with Fru though, I have seen it very rarely, but I have seen it happen where the melee DPS both insist on being like M2, and again, I'm not super seasoned with melee, so don't know why. For some reason, they just want to be paired with me really bad. It's because I'm really cute, kawaii goo. That's what I'm taking it. They want to be paired with me, bro. They just love me so much. I must smell really good. Trust me, the protein farts, you probably don't want to be M2 with me. But getting more serious here, those groups with the melee DPS, they collapsed, like, instantaneously. Like, it was such a fucking shit show. Yoshino Haru raised a lot of great points about JP culture, fundamentally about respect. To not be a burden on others, to come prepared, and not be a prog point liar. Assholes. Although Alita did say to this post that it may be a bit too eager and that there is no promise for JP players to stay in instance. If there are 3 wipes, someone's going to be out of the group. That same Alita on Reddit also talked about the notion that maybe clear rates on JP have more to do with PF being used to practice than that Duty Finder being used to clear it. Well, Alita said no. It ends up that doing that is not even a thing, so nope, we can't use that excuse. Jeff with a J had a post that I really considered interesting. It boils down to North America is more individualistic, and Japanese players are going to be more group-oriented, and that generally Japanese raiders have a more forceful way of handling prog point liars and similar detractors. Now, at the bottom of the post, I'm going to flat out read this because, holy shit, it's accurate. NA MMO player base is simply not built for this type of group content. They care more about debating on how they are right, and COD Car or Healers Out is superior to the overwhelmingly more popular strat, Aurelia. I love Aurelia strat, that's what I personally used. But instead of simply putting up with its imperfections and accepting that sometimes wipes just happen and it isn't the fault of the lazy devs' body checks or bad strats. Again, that's their words, not mine. It's just content that isn't meant to be one shot all the time. NA's favorite job is nitpicking and pointing out flaws and making sure people know that they are super smart for identifying the obvious problems rather than doing a damn thing that might contribute meaningfully to any sort of solution. Yeah, nail on the head. Oh my fucking goodness. That was actually so accurate that I actually had to take a break before continuing to record. Holy shit. Talking Potato brought up that Red Mage is the highest percentage in party compositions in Japanese servers, whereas Pictomancer is the highest in other regions. Fundamentally, I personally think this is a very interesting viewpoint into what we could look at for the general idea of JP being more group-focused and NA being more selfish, in literally picking literal more selfless Red Mage versus a more selfish Pictomancer that doesn't bring all of that revive utility, which for the record in Chaotic is something highly prized and very valuable in Chaotic, to say the least. Revive is really king. More revives you have, it really helps a lot. Which brings us to a point that hits me deeply. North America and what I'm going to call the box. When I cleared Futures Rewritten Ultimate, I lost a lot of subscribers and even had people reach out to me or comment saying that I'm now an elitist and that I'm a sweaty tryhard, that I'm no longer relatable and that they hated me and my content and that I could no longer relate to the average Final Fantasy XIV player and that they were going to go to Mione from now on and that they were never going to come back to me and that I betrayed their trust, like literally across these videos, because like obviously I'm using the free weapons, obviously I like them. They look pretty. The Sage weapons are really pretty. But, like, this kind of comment has been said to me so many times over Twitter DMs, Discord, and a few videos. Like, at this point, I'm really questioning why I even have the Twitter account. Like, it's not even fun. Really, it's just where I get, like, dick pics, which I don't want. And that's just where I literally get harassed. I'm not even having fun on Twitter, like, really. My point is, getting this was obviously unsettling, and I also had, on the other hand, let's be honest, I also had literal hundreds of people congratulate me and think how sick it was and how cool it was, but I can't stop. And this is like, humans have a negative bias towards what we think, but I can't stop thinking about those 20 or 30 instances of people commenting, not just leaving, but like announcing their departure from the airport, being like, "You cunt, I'm going to Mione, you Judas, you horrible content creator." But like, all of this just because I cleared through. And this is the box. We on North America have a very weird box that so many of us put ourselves in, where raiding is considered to be only for the top 1% of players of this game, and that it's sweaty and too try hard to not do it, and not even try it, you'll never make it. They fail out the gate. Remember, you miss every shot you don't take. This is 100% that, in my opinion. And this is paradoxical to me because I literally, personally asked the dumbest questions on the NAR Discord about stuff I personally needed help on, and I did get answers that then helped me prog. Outside of a few individuals who frankly need to chill the fuck out, the raiding community of 14 is incredibly welcome, incredibly accepting. The trick is what was said before. Take what those Reddit posts said and internalize it, make it your own. If you need to be respectful and care about doing your homework and coming prepared. If you are on APOC prog, don't join a crystallized time group. That makes you an asshole. And you're going to look like an asshole when you're lost in left field, going, "Oh, Darklit, what's Darklit? Easy mechanic, Darklit in my sleep." And then you just pop the tethers and killed us all in Darkland. I've actually seen that happen. Trust me, it's very obvious, bro. But I digress. The trick really is that, like, no one will fault you in APOC group for dying to APOC. Now, if you're clearly lost on Diamond Dust in P2 during an APOC group, that's a problem, and you need to do your homework with Sims and stuff. Now, I need to say this because I'm so sick of people taking it as something weird and putting words and thoughts and feelings into my mouth that don't even exist. I consider myself an average player of this game. And that being said, I myself as an average player cleared through on patch. I've even cleared it without a Pictomancer. Yes, really. Yes, I've cleared through without the supposedly necessary Pictomancer. The Black Mage, however, to be quite clear, was baller awesome. They absolutely deserve their clear. They put in the homework. Don't let me take the fire out of their sail. They deserve every bit of compliment they get. They hustled ass. But my point is, as an average player, I'm saying to you, don't tell me that you need to be a top 1% Giga Chad. I don't consider myself that. You know a Jack-in-the-Box, and this is the trick in Secret Sauce. You pop up, you get smacked down. You gotta pop up again, bam, bash down again, but you'll pop back up again. And that's the trick to it. I, as an average player, but what I do consider myself is a nerd that knows how to study, because, I mean, I had to do it for my 2 comp sci degrees, but I also consider myself maniacally positive and tilt-proof. Even though it doesn't really come across on this channel, I perpetually meme. I'm a total dumb himbo. Like, I'm a fucking dumbass. Like, I make stupid jokes on a constant basis. Like, people, like, call me a bottom all the time, but reality is definitely a top. Like, frankly, probably to my own detriment, so little of my actual personality and my bubbliness and stupidity comes onto the channel. But, like, that's really the secret sauce. Study, be stubborn and persistent, and be positive about it. Now, you can make a laundry list of excuses. Oh, I didn't get into static. Well, I can't do it. Bitch, I PF'd all this shit. I didn't have anyone. I didn't go to, like, any of the streamers and be like, hey, do you want to do this with me? I have, like, a little bit of a subscriber following on YouTube, and, like, oh my god, we could, like, totally do this. Can you, like, carry me, girl? Like, I didn't do any of that shit. No, just like any other player, I went to PF, and fucking, I met some amazing players. Let me not shit on them. There are so many good players in NAPF. So many. But, like, I didn't have a static. I didn't have a group. I didn't have a buddy carry me. Not even one buddy carry me. This was going in PF raw. So if you're being like, oh, well, I don't have a static. Frankly, I don't want a static. And that's a whole series of videos into itself. Not even just one video. Holy fuck, do I have stories to tell. If you want to talk about FFXIV drama, some of those stories, ooh, girl, they spicy. I'll actually say it. I'll say the quack part out loud. Do you want to know how many fucking jackasses that I personally had, pieces of shit, tell me that I wouldn't even make it to P3 of Fru? You piece of shit. And there's more than just the 5 that I'm thinking of coming to my mind. I'm currently saving them the fucking embarrassment. But at least 5 come to mind that if I pulled up their tombstone.gg, and I did just before this, they aren't even close, few of these fuckers, to finishing P2 themselves, as I just got my weapon for Sage, my 5th clear. One stuck at P3, looks like he quit a month ago, and the rest fall in similar lines. Best revenge is success, assholes. But that's really what it gets back to. Attitude, persistence, and studying is all you need. Some of these bitches were popping off. Like, they were just losing their mind, just angry, hostile, and everything. So, and maybe that's a bit too dark for this kind of video, but I mean, I'm also telling you, like, the tea. I suppose that's the opposite end of the spectrum. If you have a shit attitude, if you're entitled, and if you're throwing temper tantrums, no one's gonna want to deal with you. But let's turn this into positive. Too honest there, maybe. But I'll never really get this attitude of, like, raiding isn't for you. Well, it depends on what you mean. If you want it, if you are going to come in with a positive attitude, if you're going to want to do the content, if you're going to be like a force of good in the world, why not? I feel more than anything, this is North America's issue.